This has Oiler fans pumped up as the team begins their preseason campaign with two split squad games in Edmonton and in Calgary tonight. We will preview both of those for you. Who are we seeing? Who are we not seeing? Who's going to be on the opposition? We will break that down for you today in the video. But if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, make sure you do so, as we are very, very close to 4,000 subscribers and 69% of you watching these videos. If you love the Oilers, folks, make sure you hit that button down below for any and all Oiler news, as we have finally arrived to Oilers hockey shirts. The preseason, but still, we have two Oiler games tonight, again in Calgary and in Edmonton. It seems to be an annual thing where the Battle of Alberta opens up the preseason schedules. The Oilers seem to have a million preseason games before the new CBA kicks in next year, and that only reduces it down to 4. But the Oilers in Calgary tonight, both 6 o'clock Mountain there. I'm going to have two TVs with the same game there, sort of, flip-flopping between both of them, but it's going to be very, very exciting. I mean, that's the only time I'll have to do that this season. But the Oilers will blend both experience and youth on both rosters with 55 players, with 6 goaltenders, 16 defensemen, and 33 forwards currently at the main camp, so there's an expectation that a large crop of newcomers and young players will be in both lineups. And two names that I'm very, very excited to see tonight, David Tomasik and Atro Leppinen, as they're diving into the North American game for the first time. Both European players who have made their moves to join the Oilers organization after successful years overseas, as both work to earn roster spots and adjust further to playing on the smaller ice. I know, Connor McDavid said he loved playing with David Tomasik. He seemed to, score whenever he had the puck on his stick there, but it's a closer expectation to, not expect, too much from, Tomasik right out of the gate there. But for Kris Knoblauch, he's, getting used to, the whole coaching in the NHL thing. And for him, this campaign, we want to implement our system, so there's an opportunity to do some coaching and get the guys comfortable. It's not just, this is what we're doing and let's roll with it. It's ongoing and will be right through April, May, and even June with the Stanley Cup final. But definitely this time of the year, it's very important that we're telling the guys what we want them to do. It's very important that there's a lot of evaluation, no matter if it's a guy who's just coming within the organization or someone new. For me, it's about where guys fit into our lineup, or if they do. So it'll be nice to see the guys have that game tomorrow, as he was quoted at the end of the Oilers fan day. But for the Oilers in Knoblauch, he mentioned that evaluations at camp will start to shift more towards the tactical side and how each player could fit into their lineup after the roster was split into two groups, and some initial forward and defensive pairings were drawn up for them to begin developing chemistry there. And we'll take a look at the lineups for both teams tonight, starting off with the Oilers. This will be the game in Calgary there. I've highlighted some names that I'm excited to see. Some other names that, I haven't highlighted, but, we've seen plenty of, guys like Kasperi Kapanen, Ty Emerson, Brett Kulak. But I will highlight some of these names here. Connor Clattenburg, we saw him, stir up some trouble in the rookie games there. Ike Howard finally on his own there, away from Matt Savoy there. It's very smart for the Oilers to split those two up with the 2 games tonight, to sort of see what they can do on their own there. Roby Yarventi finally, in an Oiler uniform there. Noah Phillips, hopefully he, sort of cements his role in the organization this year. He was like the 4th line center of my dreams last season, but the Oilers management decided otherwise, and Josh Szymanski didn't have the strongest 2 rookie games there, but who knows if that'll change when he's, finally playing against some better competition there. And I only have 2 names, highlighted on the back end there. Bo Akey, very excited to see what he can do. And then Atro Leppinen. All of the Oiler media members have been, sort of praising this guy, how good he can be if he steps up and gets a bigger role within the Oilers there. But that is the Oilers in Calgary, and we'll take the Oilers in Edmonton there. Trent Frederick, finally a healthy Trent Frederick. 100% wasn't 100% in the playoffs there. He's sort of saying, I won't use the injury as an excuse to why I play poor in the playoffs, but, he finally gets to show everybody what he has to offer there. And Viljami Marjala, one of my favorite players from the rookie games, excited to see what he can do. Matt Savoy, like I said, with Ike Howard, splitting those 2 up, sort of, allowing them to be the star of the show without, overshadowing each other at all there. And David Tomasik, the praise from McDavid, sort of cemented my opinion of him. Connor McDavid doesn't say that about everybody there. And then on the back end there, Alec Regula there. We haven't seen him in an Oiler uniform at all. Seemed to be injured pretty much all of last season there after the Oilers claimed him off of waivers there too, but he could always be, in contention for the first call-up from Bakersfield there. But that is the Oilers in Calgary, in Edmonton there. And as I mentioned, Matt Savoy in Ike Howard, but, Kris Knoblauch, he's not letting the noise get to him at all. He's trying to see what these two can bring to the table. Ultimately, we just want them playing good hockey, getting the puck out, good defensive hockey, and being able to make a play under pressure. Both of them will have opportunities to play on the power play. They need to contribute with playing their game. And do they complement the other guys that they're playing with? I've seen a lot of third lines that outscore the second lines, and so it's not necessarily, I don't know. I just think too much is looked into what line you're on, and, that's very important there. We've seen a lot of teams go, okay, the third and fourth line, they're just, minute munching lines, but we've seen the bottom six be very, very complementary to the rest of the team, and I think this is what Kris Knoblauch is trying to get to the rest of the team there. But the Oilers, again, will blend both experience in youth, already mentioned that, but who's not there? Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, Andrew Mangiapane, Matthias Ekholm, Evan Bouchard, in Stuart Skinner there. But for the Flames, who are they up against? I mean, a lot of skill in the Flames lineup in Calgary tonight. This is the Flames in Calgary. There you got guys like, Nazem Kadri, Matt Coronado, Connor Zary, Michael Backlund, Blake Coleman, Sam Hanzek, so on and so forth. They're not exactly, stacked like the Oilers lineup there, especially on the back end. You got guys like, Zane Parekh, Mackenzie Weegar, Joel Hanley, Rasmus Anderson. But for the the Flames in Edmonton, you have guys like Joel Farabee, Morgan Frost, Marty Firk, Martin Pospisil, Adam Klapka, Ryan Lomberg, and then the bottom six again, just trying to see what the Flames can sort of provide for their own AHL team. But we don't really care about them at all now, do we? And on the back end, not a whole lot of big names, aside from Kevin Ball, Braden Paul, and then Danil Miromanov there, and Ivan Prosvetov is getting the start in net for the Calgary Flames there. But it'll be very, very important for the Oilers, again, just to sort of blend the experience in the youth there, get the big time minutes for the guys that they're very, very excited to see there. And then, on the, for the goaltending, there will be Nathaniel Day and Samuel Johnson in Calgary tonight, and then Calvin Pickard will probably get the start in Edmonton. So again, alongside Connor Unger, I do believe Connor Unger is backing up Calvin Pickard for the the Oilers side in Edmonton. But it'll be very, very exciting to see both games tonight there, just to see what the Oilers have in order for the season there. Despite the Oilers losing two straight in the Stanley Cup final there, it is very, very important that they get off to a good start, and a good training camp start leads to a very, very good start there in the regular season. From Kris Knoblauch, from what I see, I think we're off to a better start. Our mentality is just getting ready for game one a lot more than we were last year, so I think there are definitely things that we learned from last year, but I think everybody's in a better frame of mind for sure. And even Connor McDavid saying, that first training camp on ice practice was the best practice that, the team, not just him, the team has had in a very, very long time there. And that sort of, broke away from the usual news of when is he signing, but he's in a great, state of mind in Kris Knoblauch, and hopefully the rest of the team in a great state of mind to begin the 2025-26 season there. But folks, enjoy the game tonight. The first Battle of Alberta, the first real Battle of Alberta with the preseason, none of that rookie game stuff, but enjoy the games tonight. Take care. We will be back to recap the Oilers in Flames. Both of them should be very, very exciting to talk about. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Let's go Oilers. I'm Matt.